between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. First play and a first pass for Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Cousins on first down. And this one too low.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw is Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this one is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The New Orleans offense set to take over. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They begin on the ground with Kamara. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And he'll get this past the 20 as he gets about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Shotgun now for Carr. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Kamara try the right side.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw his Carr. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Back deep, Brandon Powell.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Madison.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd and 8.
They go play action. Cousins. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Another carry now for Madison. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It was Cameron Jordan who came in and got him.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and making sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now Cousins.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive.
defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
On 1st down, Carr. Complete. It's Johnson. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 4 yards the pickup, first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
2nd and 11 now.
Now Carr. Off to Thomas on the left side. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Carr now on first down. He gets it left side to Johnson.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And this time not quite to the 30, it'll be down at the 31-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Carr. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Carr. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1 yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. We're scoreless after 1. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. 2nd down and goal. Carr. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Dean Lowry, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. 3rd and goal, and still a long way from the end zone. Now Carr. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
So on 4th down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz. This from 32 yards away. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that. But let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Let's go, man. Playmaker, step up right now. Who's going to make a play?
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
Taken in at the 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And now out comes Minnesota. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins.
They'll get this underneath to Madison.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And his throw is incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Play fake, Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Off the play fake, Cousins.
Throw caught there by Osborne. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Cousins again. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
And ultimately, this won't go for much, maybe a couple, but boy, he showed off that make-you-miss ability that certainly is in his arsenal.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Cousins. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. The Saints say they have it, and they do. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara.
And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Carr going to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Oh, he'll look downfield for Kamara.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Offense tried to get a little slick there and sneak the back out of the backfield and turn him into the primary deep receiver. But it's good coverage defensively, and they were able to break it up.
Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Here's a give to Madison running right. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Cousins now. And that is incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. Oh, nice move. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 14 yards is the pickup, 1st down New Orleans. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
A 10th carry for Kamara. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield.
41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run it again with Kamara. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw with Carr.
There's Chris Olave. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On 2nd down and 4, Carr.
Olave over the middle. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Into the red zone, it's Carr.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Play action. Now it's Carr. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints.
Alvin Kamara
From 13 yards out.
And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. But they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one.
The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half.
Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now Cousins.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
In man coverage, your number one cardinal rule, don't get beat deep. And that's why the comeback route is so effective, because that's how they're selling it, Brandon, taking you all the way upfield before breaking it back down.
To the air again, it's Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Working with a 2nd and 4.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And they will not cut into that 10-point lead. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Let's play. Let's play now, baby. Let's play.
Kamara gets it again on second down.
And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Saints set to go here to begin the third quarter.
And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he's got some space here.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 87 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Olave holds it in, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
On second down, Kamara. Oh, what a juke into space. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings 5. 36 yards on the play. He showed his shiftiness and his explosion to take him all the way down near the goal line.
Love that description, and it creates momentum. Maybe you hand it to him again since he's got it going, or do you fake it to him and throw it to a teammate? Right now, the options are wide open.
Carr. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you're
you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and
goal. Williams.
And a pretty little juke move there, but not a ton to show for it afterwards as he's brought down. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to.
That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans.
2 yards on the touchdown there.
And the Saints take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
That's right, baby. Play it to the whistle. Let's go, man.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They go play action. Cousins. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. And right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Cousins' throw taken in by Hockenson here.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
From the 27, Cousins.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll go Madison up the middle. Nathan Shepard in there to make the tackle.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Here's Madison getting it again on second.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A third down now, and those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Joseph now to kick this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the mass of bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
From the 38, Carr.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And 3rd and 1 now.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
134 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Carr. Going to throw right side here, complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the 1st down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
They run. It's Kamara. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's Carr to throw. And down he goes. A coverage sack. Took too long to get rid of it.
And Danielle Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
1st down. Here's Cousins. This one brought in. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. The 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Once again, we got to get it done as a group.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Well, they didn't fall behind any further thanks to that missed field goal, but still staring at this fourth quarter deficit.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Open man is Osborne. He's got him.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Cousins. Throwing right, and that's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely. No matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Now Cousins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. He's got a man, complete.
And he is going to pick up the Vikings' 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Sliding out of the pocket. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Touchdown, Vikings! An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Vikings are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Joseph connects on the extra point.
And that cuts the lead to 24-10.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Carr now to throw. And that is incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
To throw is Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Cousins. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And eventually he's taken down here. Great coverage downfield, resulting in the sack. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Cousins now.
Middle of the field to Jefferson.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd down, Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now Cousins on 4th down. He's going to go up top again. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. A gain of 8 there on the play, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
And they'll get this down to the 10. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Kamara up the middle. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Second down, and it's Kamara again. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. A give. This is Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's dominate this. Let's go. They can't read us for y'all. Let's get it up. Let's go. Let's ride up. You call that deal. What's the deal, y'all? Got time. Let's go.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded just outside the goal line. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter.
This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's second down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw again on second down, Cousins. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here third and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to let it fly.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee.
Second and 11 at the 41.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.